I just got finished working on the December issue of the Christian Womanhood magazine. I know it seems like, wow, it's September and you're working on a December issue. Well, it takes that much to get it ahead. So, as I've been thinking a lot about visiting family and being with people, that's what the holidays are for, is being with people. And as I was thinking about it, I thought of the title of this radio program. It's called Unspoken Rules. Unspoken Rules. And what I want us all to be aware of is that when you go visiting people's houses, there's a lot of unspoken rules that they have for their own homes. Like, take for instance, if you were to come to visit my home, one of my unspoken rules and a preference that I would have is that you take your shoes off before you came in, because it's a motorhome and there's no entryway, and it gets dirty so quickly. Now, if somebody walked in my house and they didn't take their shoes off, I wouldn't tell them to, but it would be it's an unspoken rule that my family knows. And then another unspoken rule that you might experience if you came to visit my house is that I would prefer that if you eat on my couch, that you eat very carefully and don't, be careful not to spill on it, because I don't want to get a messy couch. When I put the grandkids eating on my couch, I put a blanket down and then put their high chair or booster chair on that blanket so it could catch things if they were to drop it. So those are a couple unspoken rules that I have, and preferences, I guess, that I have. But the definition of an unspoken rule is behavioral constraints imposed in organizations or societies that are not voiced or written down. Like some of the unspoken rules that I've read about as I've searched this out is you do not sit next to strangers on buses, trains, even if it's full, you stand. You do not stare at people in public. You do not tell a girl she is fat, even if she is. And I think that was a funny unspoken rule. You never pass a cop, even if he's doing 10 miles under the speed limit, which I don't know about you, but my unspoken rule is anytime I see a policeman, I let up on the gas. I just feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. So there's a lot of unspoken rules, and you're about to go visiting somebody's home, and it'd be wise for you to figure out what their rules are. I had a lady told me one time that her kids came to her house all the time, and they would let their children walk around eating cookies. Well, cookies are crumbly things, and she didn't really care for those cookies being all over the place. And so when she'd see a kid having a cookie, she'd put them up to the table. Well, there was a little bit of a battle there. The kids didn't like their mother sitting their kids down. Of course, the kids weren't used to sitting down to eat, so they didn't like sitting there to eat it. And so it was a little bit of a battle. So, what I'm saying to you is, if you have unspoken rules, you better speak them up as soon as somebody comes, or else put up with other people not obeying your rule. Like I said about at the beginning when I said that about my taking the shoes off. It is an unspoken rule. It's one of my preferences, but I wouldn't embarrass somebody to get them to do it. And the verse that I came up with and thought of when I thought of these unspoken rules is 1 Corinthians 9:22. Paul said this, I am made all things to all men that I might by all means save some. Paul just decided he was going to get along with people. And so he probably had unspoken rules and policies in his own life, but in order to win some, he would give up those unspoken rules. So that's what I'm saying to you today, ladies. You be aware of other people's unspoken rules, but in your own home, if those are not spoken rules, I'd be a little lax on them, just so you could get along with each other. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice.